Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Shuron here, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on command blocks and using commands with command blocks and how to actually use the different commands, because there's a lot of them. And I'll be breaking this video down into subcategories like advanced commands and basic commands and game mode commands, stuff like that. So if you guys just want to skip to a certain part, I'll leave time links in the description to when those parts are starting if you just want to skip to that. So yeah, so we're going to be starting off with how to get an actual command block, and how to do that is we have to do a command. So we have to do /give because we can't actually get it from the creative mode menu as of right now. So we're going to do /give shoot and run 137, and that's the code for a command block, and we're just going to type that in, and we're not going to specify an amount because it really doesn't matter. And we're going to place this down. We're going to get out our button, crouch, place it down. And we're going to open it up like it was a furnace or crafting table, and you'll see it says console command. So basically from here, this is when we can start putting in our command. So if we do the same command that we did to get this command block, /give, and then we type in our name, shoot and run, and we type in 37. This time we could actually specify an amount we want, so we'll just give us 30. So we'll give us 30 command blocks, and every time we press this button, it'll give us 30 command blocks. And as you see, once we pass the stack limit of 64, it'll start a new stack. So it's not going to stack up past 64. And so yeah, that's basically how you do a /give command. I mean, it's pretty basic. A lot of you guys should know that, and you could specify whatever you want in this area. It's like a regular /give command. And now we could actually do a /clear command. And basically what this does is it will clear a item from our inventory. So we're just going to leave this amount ID right here, press done, and as you see when we click this button, it'll say clear the inventory, shoot and run, removing 0 items. And it's not a glitch, it's not something that's messed up, it's just the way this code is commanded, or this command is coded, that we can't remove a certain amount of an item from our inventory. We can only remove the item totally. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this amount ID, and we're just going to leave it to the actual block ID. So we'll do /clear 137, and what this will do, it will clear all the command blocks in our inventory. So that's how you use a /clear and /give command. Yeah, so those are really basic. A lot of you guys should know that. Now we're going to be moving on over to /say, and a /say command is basically like typing out a message on a server. If you guys haven't played multiplayer yet, I'd highly recommend. It's really fun. So we're going to do /say what's up. So once we press done, we'll press the button, and it'll say at and then what's up. So basically, what that @ symbol is that's the command block. That's basically its name, because there's no way to actually name a command block. It'll just be an @ sign. And the /say broadcasts this message to everyone that's playing on the server. Since I'm the only one on the server, I'm going to be the only one that receives that message. But if, say, I had more people playing on this server, it would broadcast that to everyone. And what's really cool about the /say command is you could actually create dialogue. So say you want a fictional player, an NPC, John. We can make it say, John says, hey, what's up? So if we could actually spell what's up. So, hey, what's up? And we press that, it'll say, John says, hey, what's up? So, I mean, we could kind of pretend that that @ sign isn't there and that this is John. So, you know, that's really cool. You could create some custom dialogue, and it really takes away from having to use signs and books and stuff like that. It really gives it a nice edge to your map and really makes it stand out and be really cool. And what we could actually do eventually is we could change the color of this text, and I'll show you how to do that, guys, in the advanced commands and stuff like that. So that's the /say. The only bad thing about /say is that you can't direct it to a certain player. You have to broadcast it to everyone on the server. And say you want to have it said to only one person, we could do /tell. And basically what the /tell does is it'll send a whisper to a specified player. So we'll do /tell at shoot and run. And we'll say, hey. So really basic, it'll whisper to us, hey. And basically, we're the only one that's able to see this. No one else on the server can see it. And it's really cool for making maps with different types of things, like say you have a crazy character, you could do /tell and specify a player and make them say hey, and make it seem like, you know, they're the only one that could hear this certain voice or something, make it seem like they're going crazy. And how we could do that, instead of having to specify a certain player, because you don't know who's going to be playing your map, you don't know all the names, so it's going to be really complicated to write out all the players. What we can do is, using these 3 commands that you see here, at P, at R, at A, we could specify a certain player. So if we do at R, and we'll say hey, it'll find a random player on the server out of, say we're playing a group of 5, it'll find one person out of that group of 5, and it'll send this message hey to them, and they'll be the only one that can see that. So, you know, it's really cool for making maps. It's really, you know, you can do a lot of cool things with this. And then we could just change this to at P, and that'll send it to the nearest player, and at A, they'll send it to all players. I don't really know why you'd want to do /tell at all players, unless you just wanted to say whispers. So yeah, you could do it to all players and random players or single players. And moving back to the say command, if we do /say and at P, we can't actually specify a certain player we want this say command to go to. So what it actually does is, it's really cool. So if we do at P says hey, what this will do is it'll actually broadcast the nearest player's name. So say shoot and run says hey. So that's really cool. We could even do it at all, and if we do at all says hey, it'll say shoot and run, and say we're playing with like 3 other people, say shoot and run, comma, their name, and their name, stuff like that. So it does a really good job at listing off all the players' names, and at random it'll just find a random player on the server and say, this person says hey. So, I mean, that's really basic. Those are the /say, those are how you use the at commands, and give and clear and whisper and stuff like that. So those are really basic commands for the command block, and we're going to be moving on over to advanced commands now. Okay, so now we're going to be starting on advanced commands with command blocks, and these are more like advanced / custom maps, custom map commands. So these commands are really good for making custom maps and stuff like that. So first we're going to be starting off with the /teleport command. And basically this is /TP, and then we specify the player, so we'll just write at P, so the closest player. And then we'll click done, and we'll press F3 to find out our location. So our X is right now, it's 24, so we'll make it 24. Our position in Y is 20, and our Z position is -147, or 150 actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to move, let's say, 2 blocks back, so we'll make it -152. Done. And when we press this button right here, if we press it, it'll actually, it actually moves us forward. Yeah. So this will actually move us forward. I should have actually made the amount 48 instead, and that will move us backwards. So yeah, we'll be moved back here. So that's the teleport command. It's really basic. You could do at P, at A, at R, random player. So, you know, you could specify what player you want completely. You could even teleport them completely across the map. It really doesn't matter. So yeah. So that's the teleport command. Very basic. A lot of you guys should know that. But it is yet an advanced command because a lot of people don't know how to press or use the F3 and, you know, type in all the coordinates. So, you know, it's a good adventure map command. So now we're going to be moving over to the game mode command. So game mode is basically how it's said. It changes the game mode of a player. So if we do game mode, there's game mode 0, 1, and 2. 0 is survival, 1 is creative, and 2 is adventure. So if we do game mode 1 at P, we'll specify what player we want, and it'll change this game mode to creative. And then we could do at 0, and that'll change us to survival. And see, now that we're set to survival, say we want to change back to creative. For some reason, it won't actually allow me. It says you must be an opt player in creative mode. So we actually have to go back here, game mode 1, and change ourselves back to creative mode. But something you guys may or may not know is that you could actually, instead of having to use the numbers and get confused with all the different numbers, you could actually use letters. So we could do game mode S, and this will change us to survival. We could do game mode A, and that'll change us to adventure mode, but of course we need to be apt, so I'm going to quickly type in game mode 1 or game mode C. And game mode A, we could do game mode A, S, and C, and specify all players or whatever player you want, and it'll change their game mode to that. So, you know, if you're playing on a server, make sure your friends are apt so they can actually, I mean, you don't have to be apt to actually change the command, or you don't have to be apt to change your game mode, you just have to be apt to change the command. So, you know, you don't have to worry about that. It will change your game mode if you are actually playing, and the command is already set, but if you want to change it, you have to make sure you're apt in creative mode. So, you know, that's what you have to remember, guys, is that if you're playing, you don't have to worry about being in creative mode to change game modes. So now we're going to be moving over to the spawn point command, and this is really, really, really useful for custom maps, and basically everyone uses it. So we're going to do / spawn point, and we'll specify the player. We'll do @p, and basically right now this just places our spawn point wherever we're standing, and we could actually activate this. So this will, you know, change us to wherever we're standing. It doesn't matter, but we can even specify where our spawn point actually is. So if you guys remember our coordinates, I'll bring it up quickly. It's 24, so we'll do type back in 24, 20, negative 150. So say we want our spawn point to be 2 blocks back from where this command block is. If we do negative 148, okay, press this button, and it'll set our spawn point to negative 148. And it doesn't matter where we're standing, it'll still set it to negative 148. So that's how you specify where you want the exact spawn point to be. And if we kill ourselves, we do /kill on our actual text, we'll be killed, and we'll spawn back right here where this command block set us. And we'll just quickly pick up our stuff. And yeah, so that's how you do spawn points. That's how you make a custom like set spawn points and stuff like that. It's really good if you're if you know the player's gonna die, say from an explosion, you could make them teleport in a totally different area where this entire town's been exploded by a nuclear bomb or something. So, you know, you can do a lot of cool things with that. So now we're gonna be moving over to weather. And weather is you guys may or may not know, it's really, really useful for custom maps, and especially changing the mood. So if we do weather clear or weather rain or thunder, it'll actually set that weather. So if we do clear, it'll change our weather to clear. If we change it to rain, it should change it to rain. And now it'll start raining in a couple seconds. And then we could even do thunder. I believe thunder will work. Yeah, so now I'll change it to rain and thunder. And there will be thunder eventually, I don't know when, but we'll just change it back to clear because we don't want thunder in the background. So yeah, you could cycle through that. You could even put snow on there if you guys want. And what you guys can even do, you guys can even customize the weather even further by adding in amount time. So say we want the weather to be clear for a long, long time, we could change it to 1 million, and that'll clear the weather for 1 million ticks, I believe. And that's a really, really long time. That's I think a couple days in Minecraft, maybe even more. So yeah, like say you want to create the mood, say you get in a really creepy castle, you could change the weather to thunder for a certain amount of time, and it'll be constantly thundering when you're in that castle, but when you leave, you can have a command block set the weather to clear something. So, you know, you could do a lot of cool things with the weather command. So, lastly, we're going to be moving over to difficulty. So, if we do / difficulty, and we type in, let's say, 1, it'll change our difficulty to easy mode. And then if we change it to 2, it'll be normal, and 3 will be hard, and, come on, 3, and 0 will be peaceful. So these are really basic. It corresponds to these: easy, normal, hard, peaceful, 0 being peaceful, 3 being hard. And this is really good for creating custom maps where if you're playing on an arena map and you want it to change the difficulty to easy, medium, hard, you could do that easily by setting a command block, putting a button on the wall, and just displaying a sign that says easy, medium, hard. And the player can pick between what difficulty they want, and you could send a /say message to them saying you are now playing on easy difficulty or something like that. So, it's really good for making a map, and it could really give it a nice look to your map and, cater to the player's play style. Say they're not too great, you could always change it to easy or medium without them having to actually press escape and changing that themselves. So that's really cool. You could even say you don't want a place to be have any mobs in it. You could do difficulty 0. When they step over pressure pad, all the mobs will disappear and it'll be peaceful. So, there's a lot of cool different things you could do with that. So those are some commands that you could do to create custom maps. Next, we're going to be moving on over to game rule commands, and those will really, really help out your custom maps, and they really make a great difference. So yeah, we'll be moving over to game rule commands next. Okay, so here are 2 more commands that I forgot to show you guys for custom adventure maps, and that's an XP and set time. So set time, a lot of you guys have probably used. It's /time set, and you could set the time to, let's say, nighttime. 18,000. Set that, and it'll change the night time to night. And then we could also do time set 0, and that'll change the time to 0. And then another one that I forgot to show you guys was XP. So we could give people a certain amount of XP. So we could give XP 400 XP like bubbles, and that'll increase our level. So as you see here, it increases our level. It gives us 400. Or we could even add a level. So it could give us 400 levels. So yeah, so our player is just slowly getting 400 levels every time we click it. And you could even take away, so if we do negative 400 levels, it'll take away 400 levels. So yeah, guys, those were 2 commands that I forgot to show you, XP and time. They're really useful for custom maps, especially when you're about to fight a final boss. You could give them some XP and give them enchanted, give them some XP so they can enchant stuff. Okay, so now we're moving on to game modes, or game rules. And game rules, they do a lot of great things for your custom maps. So to bring up the menu for game rules, we have to actually type it on our command rule, or our command text. So we're going to do /game rule, and as you see here, these are all the different command rules you can have, and I'll explain each one. So command block output, basically, how I'll just explain to you guys. So, when we press this button, it'll say spawn point set. So it'll say, normally it would say spawn point set for shoot and run at this location. But as you see, when we click this, it's not bringing us a spawn point. And how we alter that is we could type it through here. We could do game rule command block output, or we could put it on a command block. So we could do /game rule, and then say we want to do command block output, and we have to do it exactly as it's shown on the game rule list because it is case sensitive. And then we could pick between true or false. So we're going to make it true. Done. And we'll hit this, and it'll say our game rule has been updated. We'll go back over to this spawner, spawn point, and it'll say our spawn point has been set. And if we go back here and set it to false, God, I keep on spelling it wrong. Alright, set it back to false, and we do this, you'll see that, oh, I forgot to actually activate this. You'll see that it doesn't appear that our spawn point has been set. So that's basically command block output. Do fire tick, that basically disables fire from spreading. Do mob loot, that disables mobs from dropping their naturally spawned loot, but you can drop custom loot. If you guys haven't seen my how to make custom mobs, I'll put an annotation in the video. Do mob spawning, that disables mobs from spawning naturally, but they still will spawn from eggs and spawners. do tile drops. I'll demonstrate that to you guys. Keep inventory. That's basically you keep inventory and XP on death. And mob griefing, that disables creepers from blowing up an area. So do tile drops is this here. I'll actually demonstrate that to you guys. So do tile drops, I believe is how it's spelled, and we'll put that to true. Here we'll just double check. Do tile drops. Yep. So we have it set up, and we'll set this to true. And as you see here, when we break these buttons actually come off, and we're able to pick them up. But if we set this to false, oh man, I don't know why I keep spelling it wrong. False. You'll see when we break this up, and I forgot to press the button again. We'll set this up quickly. If you see false, you'll see that the buttons do not drop. So this is really good for creating a custom map in which you don't want the player to be able to pick up something. You can set this to false, and if the player is able to set their game mode to adventure, or change their game mode from adventure to survival, you could do tile drops false, and they won't be able to pick up that block and be able to alter the map in any way. So game rules are really, really important for creating custom maps. They really do cater the map to how you want it to be, and I would recommend taking full advantage of that, because that is really, really good, and it makes your map look really clean if you actually use them the right way. So we went over the basic commands, we went over adventure maps and custom map commands, and we went over game rule commands. Now we're going to be going over specifications, and these are a bit more advanced. We're going to be going through all the commands, and we're actually going to put specifications on them, and basically this allows us to make commands further more specific to a certain player. So we'll be switching over to that, and yeah. Okay, so now we're going to be going over commands with arguments on them, or refined searches on a certain player. So we're just going to use the XP command because it's very easy to showcase this one. So we're going to do 5 levels at the nearest player, and then now we're going to start a refined search. So what we're going to do is we're going to use brackets, and we're going to give it a, let's say, a maximum search radius. So we're going to do R equals, and this will give this block a maximum search radius. So we could input any number, so we'll just make it, we'll make it 3 blocks. So it could search a total of 3 blocks for us to get 5 levels. So we're within 3 blocks, and we get 5 levels. But if we go out of 3 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so now we're on 4 blocks, we push this, we will not get the 5 levels. So as long as you're within 5 levels, it'll give you 5 levels. We could do at A2, and that would give all players that are within this area 5 levels. And we could even refine this even more by adding a comma, and then we could do RM, which gives it a minimum search radius, and we could give it an RM of let's say 2, and then we could give it a max of 4. So basically what this command does is, as long as you're within 2 and 4, this will give you a 5 levels of XP. But say we go 1 right here, we're right up on here, we will not get these levels. I believe if you stand right on 2, you will get the XP, and if you stand right on 4, you still will get the XP. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, so we are 4, and we press this, we will get the buttons. But if we're 5, we won't get it. So, you know, that refines the search. It gives it an, you could do it from anywhere as long as you're 5 levels within, or, you know, the certain radius we give it within. It'll give that. And then you could even refine it even more. I mean, there's so much revision you can do with this. You can even set a specific spawn. So if we'll bring up our F3, do our spawn point, you'll see that our X is 44. So we'll do X equals 40, let's do 50. So X equals 50, comma, Y, if I can find it, Y equals 20. We don't want to change that. And then Z equals, we'll just leave it at 132, or 133. So basically what that does is it'll give us a maximum search radius of 4, a minimum search radius of 2 if we're within this area. So say we go 2 forward or 2 back on this, on any of these coordinates, it'll still recognize us. So we're going to go over to 50, X50, so that's this way. And I don't think we'll be able to touch the button. So now that we're over at this area, and I realized about the redstone that we don't have to get it set up, that we could actually reach it. From here, if I were to press that, from 49, if I were to press this button, we wouldn't get any points, so we'll set our minimum to 3, actually. We'll set our minimum radius to 3, and we'll set our maximum to 5. So if we're within 3 of this, of 50 and 133, so right here, 49, 48, 47, we will not get, right here, we will not get that XP. Because as you see, our minimum search radius is 3. And we are, you know, just about 3 away. It depends on how you look at the coordinates. It says we are only 2 away, but really we are 3. So, and then if we move closer to that maximum radius of 5, you'll see that we are actually getting those points. So we can move all the way up to here, and then once we get to 43, you'll see that we don't get those experience anymore. So those are those are some, you know, just a couple arguments you could use. Now you could even specify it even more. We're just going to delete this because we don't have to walk all the way over there. So now we can specify it to even more. So we'll do a max level. So if we have a max level equal to, let's say, 110, and that will give us 5 points until we're level 10. So now, as you see, we're level 10. Once we click this, we won't get any more points. See, as you see, we were able to get 5 more points, but that's because we were right on the border of level 110, and we were able to get that 5 extra points. But now that we're 115, we are not allowed to get any more points. So if we just set this level minimum to 20, or we'll just set it to 30, and we'll set a level minimum. So we'll do comma LM equals 100. Done. You'll see that, alright, I already demonstrated this, that we can go up to 50. And we won't go anymore. But if we do XP negative, let's say 40 levels, we're at 95, and our minimum was 100. So we will not be able to receive any points because we are 95, we are 5 away from 100. But if we give ourselves XP 5 levels, we're at 100 now, we can receive 5 levels of experience again. So, I mean, there's a lot more arguments you guys can use. You guys can use teams and stuff like that. If you guys want to look that up, you can go on the wiki. It'll give you the argument list. But yeah, this is basically how you implement arguments and refine a search and, you know, cater your map to exactly how you want it. You could give it specifics and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, that was how to use command blocks. Those are some commands that you guys can use. I don't think I went over all of them. I tried to do my best to go over all the ones that I knew. If you guys know more commands that I missed, be sure to leave a comment so I could update that, leave a note for you guys. And if you guys want to see those videos that I created earlier on how to actually change the color of the text, I'll leave another annotation at the end of the video, and basically how that's done is using MCedit. If you guys want to see some other tutorials that I made on creating advanced maps and advanced custom maps and really nice custom maps, I'll leave an annotation in this video too. I made some custom mobs and stuff like that, so yeah, be sure to check those videos out. If you guys like this video, be sure to subscribe, and I'm Shooting Run, and I'm out. Thanks guys, thanks for watching guys, peace out.